I wanted to take a couple of minutes to go over a very important document that you will need all semester long, and that this is my course policies or my course information. I highly suggest that you print these out and keep them with you all semester long. This is going to be a little bit longer video, but please bear with me and listen to it from beginning to end. And if you print these policies out, then you can follow along with me on your own paper, highlight as needed. If not, then just follow along with me on the screen for the presentation. This is English 1301. It is an online class. You will not have to come to campus at any time for any reason. My name is Christine Morgan. My email is listed here for you, chrism@coastalbend.edu. My office number, my office location on the Alice campus, and my office hours. You also have a small little kind of screenshot of my office hours here so you can see what rooms I'm in and what classes I have. You'll notice here also that I do have some face-to-face English 1301 lectures on Mondays and Wednesdays. If at any time during the semester you want to attend one of those lectures, you can do so. You don't even have to ask permission. You can just show up. The course description, this is an intensive study and practice of the writing process from invention, that means creation, brainstorming, to researching and drafting, revising, and editing, both individually and collaboratively. You will need to successfully complete English 1301 before you can move into English 1302 or any of your sophomore literature courses. You can kind of go through these course objectives as you like. These course objectives are for any English 1301 class, anywhere you take it. The required textbooks and materials for this class, first and foremost is your textbook. It is called the Student Writer. The ISBN number is there for you. You have a couple of options when purchasing this textbook. You can purchase it through the bookstore, and if you purchase it through the Coastal Bend College bookstore, it comes with its McGraw-Hill Connect access code, which you will need. That does not mean, however, that you can't purchase this as a used textbook. You can absolutely do so. So if you find this textbook used and want to buy it that way because it's a lot cheaper, go ahead and do that. Just realize that you are going to have to purchase the access codes separately from McGraw-Hill, and I have the directions for doing that in your Blackboard shell. You also need a reliable computer and reliable internet access. This is an online class, so not having a computer or not having reliable internet access is not going to be an excuse to not get the work done. So make sure that you have access to a computer and to a good internet server. Additional resources. You need to know how to log into your CBC Cougar Den. This is where your grades are posted and also where all of your information as a student for the college is located. So you'll want to know how to do that. You will need a computer with Microsoft Office. If you are using Mac or any other kind of computer, don't worry. You can install Microsoft Office for free from your CBC email. So don't go and buy it. You can install it for free. And I believe you have up to 5 free installs with your CBC email. So you can install Microsoft Office on up to 5 different devices free of charge. You also need to be very familiar with Blackboard. I will be providing some tutorial type videos in your Blackboard shell, but try to familiarize yourself with Blackboard as quickly as possible. And lastly, as mentioned previously, you're going to need Connect access for some of your assignments. This is a requirement from Coastal Bend College. Any English 1301 class that you take has this requirement. The next item in your course policies are your course outline or agenda. What I have here is just a brief, it doesn't have any of the readings or textbook pages or anything like that included, but it does have all of your assignments for the entire semester, where those assignments are found, which module in Blackboard are they found in, along with their consecutive due date. can see we have several assignments. And then after that, excuse me, after that we have a weekly lesson plan that you can follow. So I have a to-do list for week 1, homework assignments that you should be working on, and then if there are actual assignments that have to be turned in to me, those are listed on the far right-hand side. And this kind of coincides with the way your Blackboard is set up. So you can see here that I'm telling you to get to this area, you would click on course information, then course content, then start here. So the steps of how to get to this location in Blackboard are listed here with your lesson plan. I have it set up, guys, all the way through. I have it set up kind of like on a 2-day schedule. This is an online class. You don't have to do all of this in 2 days or just log in on Mondays, just log in on Wednesdays. It's done in a 2-day schedule just so I can kind of organize the information a little bit better. You can complete it as needed, but I do ask that you complete the readings and the assignments in the order that they're presented in this timeline. I'm going to skip down for several pages because this weekly schedule takes up quite a bit of room. Maybe your spring break date listed for you there. This is a 16-week course, so you will have 15 weeks listed here. The 16th week of your class is reserved for finals only. And your final for my class is your last essay, and I already have that due date for you here. Okay, so let's move forward and look at our evaluation procedures and grading criteria. You will have several different types of assignments in this class. You'll have some essays, you'll have some discussion boards where you have to interact with each other, very few quizzes, some journal assignments, and then some other kind of easier, just general type of assignments. And this helps me evaluate your understanding of the course and the material that we're going over, especially since I don't get to see you face to face. I really have to rely on the work that you're submitting and turning in to make sure that you're understanding the assignments. Some of the assignments are graded on effort. These kind of easier daily assignments, you'll just see like a check mark, and then you'll see that you've received either a 90 or a 98. This is a very, very high grade. Now, for your multiple choice type tests or little quizzes or assignments where there's no subjective way of grading, it's either just right or wrong, those you do have the potential of getting 100, but for most assignments, these are going to be writing assignments, and so the highest grade you'll see me give you is a 98. This is not me being mean. This is my philosophy of writing. I don't believe that communication is ever perfect. There's always room for just a little bit more improvement. And so the highest grade I give on writing assignments is a 98. Your large stake assignments, what I mean by that is the assignments that are weighted more heavily for this course. These are your essays. I grade them with rubrics, and you'll have access to those rubrics the entire semester. I have a video that you can watch later after you write your first essay and get your feedback, but there are several steps you'll need to follow to be able to see all of the rubric responses. Unless I tell you otherwise, like if an emergency came up or something. But for the most part, you can expect to receive feedback on your assignments within 2 weeks of the date that you turn it in. If after looking through your assignment feedback, if you still are kind of confused or you feel like you need more feedback from me, please contact me and let me know. I'm more than happy to provide that extra feedback for you, whether that's through a phone call, whether that's through meeting face-to-face and going over your paper, whether it's meeting through a Skype call. All of those are options that we can take advantage of to help you improve on your assignment and for me to give you more feedback if you need it. I do not grade late assignments, so if you turn in an assignment past the due date, you will receive a 0. If you turn in assignment that is not in a deliverable format, or it's turned in incorrectly, you will receive a 0 as well. This is a college course, guys, so my philosophy as being your instructor here is that I'm supposed to teach you communication skills that you will need in the workforce, but college is also set up to prepare you for the workforce or for your future career. And so my expectations of you are going to match what an employer's expectation of you is. So for myself, as an example, if I didn't submit your grades in time, am I going to be able to keep my job? If I don't teach the class in a certain way, am I going to be able to keep my job? No. So as a student, you have expectations or responsibilities as well. And one of those responsibilities is to meet your deadlines, aka due dates for assignments. Okay, so just a little note there on why I'm so strict with this type of policy. As mentioned previously, your essays will be graded with a specific rubric. We call these like a modal rubric. What that means is when you write a compare-contrast essay, there's going to be a compare-contrast rubric. If you write a cause and effect essay, you're going to have a cause and effect rubric for my class. That being said, I do have kind of a general breakdown here. I'll let you read this on your own of what an A paper, B paper, C paper, a D or F paper looks like. In college classes, our grading system is a little bit different if some of you are still in high school or just now graduating from high school, or if this is your first college class ever. Your grade for the class will be a 4.0, 3.0, 2.0, 1.0, or 0.0. That is the equivalent of your A, B, C, D, and F. 50% of your grade for my class will come from your 3 essays, essay 1, 2, and 3. The most weighted of those 3 essays is your final research paper. You can see there that it's worth 20% of your grade. The other 50% of your grade is averaged in from your assignments, which are 20% of your grade, discussion posts, which are 10% of your grade, your quizzes, there's only a few of them, 10% of your grade, and then your Connect assignments from the McGraw-Hill Connect access that's with your textbook. You will have a few assignments from there. Those will be averaged together and count for 10% of your grade as well. I have an attendance statement on here. The reason I have it on here is just to kind of clear up a few things. This is an online class, so obviously you're responsible for reading and applying and learning the information on your own. You don't have to meet with me in a classroom once or twice a week. However, for CBC, I still have to take attendance, even though this is an online class. So you will see an attendance location or area with an attendance grade for this class. The way I'm going to take attendance is just every week I will look and make sure that you've logged in to Blackboard at least once that week. If you kind of disappear and haven't logged in for several weeks, you're going to see that attendance grade drop. If you're logging in regularly, you will see that your attendance grade is high. Make sure that you try to log into Blackboard at least once a day, just to make sure that there's no new announcements, if there's any extra information, and also just to kind of make sure that you're not going to miss an assignment for that week. At a minimum, log in twice every week so that you can write down your due dates, know what you have to get done for that week. I really don't want you to miss any of your assignments. The only way you will not pass my class is if you don't turn stuff in. I'm giving you a 100% guarantee that if you turn in your work on time, you will pass my class. And you're probably going to pass it with a fairly high grade. Some of this I've already mentioned about being able to come to any of my face-to-face lectures. So I'm going to skip down just a little bit to rules of conduct. Just make sure that in any of our discussion posts, some of the content might be more like mature or topics that have a diverse or varied opinion from different people. So make sure that you're respectful of each other, even if you might have different opinions from one another. Emails and phone calls made to me should be respectful in tone. I'll make sure that I do the same to you. Plagiarism, that includes self-plagiarism and or collusion, will not be tolerated. I'll go over these policies with you in just a minute further down in the course policies. So here's my instructor conversations of our expectations. I've already mentioned number 1 here. My preferred method of contact is via my email that's listed at the beginning of this course policies page or document. And you can expect a reply within 24 hours during the work week and about 48 to 72 hours over the weekend. Please do not email me through via Blackboard. I get no notifications that an email has been sent, and it makes it very difficult for me to respond to these in as short a time period as I want to. The work email, I have it on my cell phone, so that allows me to reply to you much faster. I've already mentioned number 3 to you. I'm going to skip down a little bit more. I've actually already mentioned this as well, to have a copy of this here course policies document. My main reason for having such a detailed lesson plan and wanting you to print these course policies out is a lot of times students will rely on their course calendar. The problem with that is that that course calendar in Blackboard is not always accurate. Certain types of assignments don't even pop up on there. Like your Connect assignments, they're probably not going to pop up there because they're due through another system. Your discussion board postings, sometimes they show up on the calendar, sometimes they don't. So please do not rely just on that course calendar. I've noticed this throughout the years. Use your course policies here and that short kind of breakdown that I have made for you. Put them into your cell phone calendar or your planner, whatever it is you use to organize your time. Okay, so let's look at submissions through Blackboard. Coastal Bend College uses a Microsoft Office system. That's why I'm asking for you to install it for free from your email. So documents like .pages, .odt, Google Docs, I'm not capable of opening. Obviously, if I can't open those documents, then I can't grade those documents. So when you turn in your assignments, make sure that they're in one of these 3 formats: a Word document, a rich text format, or a PDF file. If you don't know how to change the document type, I do have a tutorial video in Blackboard that you can go back and look at, and I'll walk you through the steps on how to do that. If you turn your work into me as an undeliverable document that I can't open, you will receive a 0. There's no do-overs. If you turn in your assignment to me as an email instead of through the assignment tab, same thing. You're not going to get credit for that assignment. All your work needs to be turned in through Blackboard through its appropriate assignment tab. I have a tutorial on how to do that as well, so don't feel overwhelmed. If you don't know how to do something, I probably have a tutorial video to help you out over it. As mentioned previously, you're going to have a total of 3 essays, multiple assignments. All of these should be turned in MLA format. That stands for Modern Language Association. Because this is an English class, we do use MLA. I also have tutorial videos on how to set up your paper in MLA format. I do allow extensions for assignments if the extensions are awarded for emergencies only. Again, going back to what I said previously, my expectations are the same as an employer would have of you. If you're not going to come into work or you're not going to meet a deadline that you have for your career, for emergencies only. Being busy is not an emergency. That includes work, other extracurricular activities, hobbies, vacations and tournaments. Those aren't emergencies either. Not having access to the internet or not having a computer, not an emergency. Are those things stressful and problematic? Yes, they absolutely are. Been there, done that, I understand. But you have to kind of overcome and problem solve and figure out a way to solve that problem and meet deadlines, because that's what employers are going to expect of you. If you do need that extension because of an emergency, you're ill, you're in the hospital, a close family member has passed away. Those types of things are emergencies. They are 100% out of your control and they're unexpected. I will give you an extension. You need to email me and let me know that you need one. And then very briefly, just tell me why. And then I will need supporting documentation of that emergency, and I will allow the extension. Okay, academic dishonesty. The two, I've got them bolded here. This is basically just CBC and my policy on cheating. The two that I have highlighted here at the bottom are collusion and plagiarism. Collusion is anytime you have somebody else do your assignment for you, whether they do it for free or whether you pay for it. That is collusion. This does include buying an essay from an online service. That is considered collusion. Plagiarism is when you steal or use somebody else's thoughts and pass them off as your own. There's also something called self-plagiarism, and self-plagiarism is when you, for example, if you were to be retaking this class and you turned in an old essay from another 1301 class and returned it in here, that's called self-plagiarism. Every assignment that you do should be a new assignment that you have newly created for whichever course you are in, okay? And I won't read this out, but I have my faculty bio statement, just some information about me here at the bottom of your course policies. Thank you for staying with me on this entire video. If you have any questions about my course policies, please email me and let me know. And you have a very brief multiple choice question quiz that is here in Blackboard due this first week on the 25th, I believe, January 25th. So just finish that up and I'll look forward to grading them.